Hello, darling. Welcome to the Rose Hour. This is a little different from our usual broadcasts. No moonlit encounter, no grand adventure. Just you, me, and a thought that's been keeping me company lately. The things we leave unsaid. You know, I think human beings spend an astonishing amount of time talking. We talk about work, the weather, the things we watched, the things we bought, what we're having for dinner, what we should have done differently. And yet, somehow, the things that matter most often remain untouched. Almost as though we're afraid that saying them aloud might make them real. Perhaps you've noticed that too. Perhaps there's something sitting quietly inside your chest right now. Something you've rehearsed 100 times. Something you've imagined saying in the shower, or in the car, or lying awake at 2 a.m. And yet somehow, the words never quite make it out. I think most of us have a letter we've never sent. Not necessarily on paper. Sometimes it's just a conversation, a confession, an apology, a thank you, a goodbye. A simple sentence that somehow became impossibly difficult. I miss you. I forgive you. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm proud of you. It's funny, isn't it? Some of the shortest sentences in the language are often the hardest to say. Human beings have a remarkable talent for believing there will always be another opportunity. Another birthday, another phone call, another visit, another chance to tell someone what they mean to us. And sometimes there is, but sometimes there isn't. There's a strange kind of grief that comes from unfinished conversations. Not because we said the wrong thing, but because we never said anything at all. Because silence has a way of becoming permanent if we leave it alone long enough. Do you know what I find fascinating? Most people don't stay silent because they don't care. It's usually the opposite. The things we care about most often frighten us the most. We tell ourselves we're protecting our hearts. But most of the time we're protecting our fears. Fear of rejection. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of changing something that feels comfortable. Fear that if we reveal how much we care, the other person won't feel the same. And perhaps they won't. That possibility is terrifying. Believe me, I know. But do you know what's even more frightening? Never finding out. I think one of the saddest assumptions we make is believing people already know how much they matter. We assume our friends know we appreciate them. We assume our parents know we love them. We assume our siblings know we're proud of them. We assume our partners know how grateful we are. And perhaps they do. Perhaps they don't. But hearing something and knowing something are not always the same thing. A few years ago, I heard a story. Maybe it's true. Maybe it isn't. The best stories are often difficult to separate from reality. But there once was a man who carried a letter in his coat pocket for 20 years. 20 years. He wrote it when he was young. The sort of young where everything feels urgent. The sort of young where every feeling seems enormous. It was a love letter, a confession. The kind that changes things forever, or so he thought. He wrote it, folded it carefully, placed it in an envelope, and never sent it. Years passed, then decades. The letter remained, always tucked away in some pocket, some drawer, some forgotten corner of his life. One rainy evening he found it again. The paper had yellowed, the ink had faded, and for the first time in 20 years, he opened it. Do you know what surprised him? It wasn't the name at the top of the page. It wasn't the person he had written it for. It was the person who had written it. The young man who believed love was worth risking embarrassment. The young man who believed honesty mattered. The young man who wasn't nearly as afraid as he later became. And suddenly he realized something. The letter had never really been about the woman. It had been about him. About a version of himself he had slowly abandoned. A version that still deserved compassion. I think that's true for many of us. Sometimes the person we need to forgive isn't someone else. It's ourselves. For being afraid. For waiting too long. For not knowing what we know now. We spend so much time punishing older versions of ourselves, as though they were supposed to possess information they could only learn by living. That's not wisdom. That's cruelty. So, I'd like to leave you with a rose tonight. One thought. One small thing to carry with you until next time. If someone came to mind while listening, perhaps that's a coincidence. Or perhaps it isn't. Maybe there's still time. Maybe there isn't. But either way, I hope the people you love know it. I hope the people who matter to you hear it. And if there's something you've been carrying for a very long time, perhaps this is your sign. Not necessarily to send the message. Not necessarily to make the call. But to at least be honest with yourself about what you wish you could say. Life is strangely fragile, and far too beautiful to leave everything important unsaid. Thank you for spending part of your evening with me. If you're new to Rosethorne Radio, the Rose Hours where we talk about things people rarely discuss aloud. The quiet thoughts, the difficult questions, the truths we carry around us. One rose, 1 hour, one conversation at a time. Until next time, darling, take care of your heart, and perhaps say the thing you've been meaning to say. Good night.